16 here, the VasaCast Invitational, spawning in the tippity-top-top position as the pink Protoss player. From my insanity, it is Stardust. And his opponent in the bottom position, spawning as the blue Terran player. Representing Team Evil Geniuses, it is Xenocider. Xenocider, of course, if you have been tuning in to the game so far today, good sir, I know that he defeated Hyun 2-0 to come to this position. Hyun, a man who has claimed the souls of many a Terran player. But, well, Xenocider needs a pause. I guess he maybe had a hotkey off or something. Maybe his hot pocket was in the microwave a little too long. If that's even possible, since those things are always cold. But, anyway. Xenocider. Hype voice. This Terran vs. Protoss is a best of 3. And Xenocider already with a rally to the gas. This man, he's like me, you know, he's a gas man. And for Terran vs. Protoss, I think it's fun to be a gas man sometimes. The potential is endless, really. There's just so many things you can do with it. It's really something else. But how prepared will Stardust be? He's opened up with a 13, I think 13 gateway. Maybe 12. I could be blind. But relatively standard from Stardust. He hasn't built a gateway at 10 supply in an attempt to brutalize his opponent within the first 30 seconds of the game. So, looking forward at this match, Stardust, aka Cheese Dust, aka I don't know if I could call him Cheeto Dust. It's like the ultimate horrible pun of gamer food, but he is known for his aggressive play. That's all I can say. In fact, Stardust is such a nice guy too. It's really funny. If you've ever met Stardust, he's probably one of the nicest players I've ever met in the StarCraft scene. He actually embraces the whole cheese dust thing. It's really funny. He's quite an adorable guy. Of course, Xenocider won I think it was the Taiwan Esports League. He made like 10 grand or something last year from that tournament. And of course, you know, he actually practices a lot on the European ladder. And since Stardust lives in Europe, it only makes sense for me to let you guys know that these people probably play each other on ladder a reasonable amount. Neither of these accounts are barcodes. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, to maintain that GM status that they duke it out. They go head to head. SCV gets a scout for Xenocider, and he sees what appears to be a very standard one gateway spin. He's like 1 gas, 2 pylons. This doesn't look crazy. Actually, did he delay one of his? Am I blind? Okay, I am blind. I am actually blind. I'm sorry. But the factory is done. So what Xenocider is doing is a very fast Widow Mine drop. The point of this build for Xenocider is to drop typically on the ramp. Most Protoss players have managed to get their heart rates to go above 60. So they actually do have the blood flow capable of defending against drops, unlike in the early Heart of the Swarm days. So Stardust, I don't expect him to take damage in a straight-up like mineral line dropper attack. He is going to go scout with this mothership core, but he does need to be careful. His Nexus is on the way in the natural. This Widow Mine is out for Xenocider, and oh, he's going to burrow it. Actually, he could hit this. He could hit. Is he going to? I don't think he'll kill it because his Marines aren't here, but he's just going to give a love tap to that. Oh, no. No? No love tap? Okay. Twilight Council's on the way. Stardust wants to go for a 2-base Blinkerino, it seems. And, well, there's the robotics facility. So he's still going to keep these his options open to be able to defend against... he wants to be able to defend against, you know, the Widow Mine play. Since he saw it, he was able to avoid being hit by the Widow Mine. Medevac is out, and 2 Hellions rallied out afterwards is the proper way to do this build. He goes for Reactor. It's pretty standard to build a reactor after this. If you're a crazy person like me, you would build a tech lab. But Xenocider and I are both big fans of this type of build order strategy. So here it comes. He's loaded up the Marines in his medevac, and he's going to put the Hellions through the natural. Now the natural is not done yet, but this Twilight Council is exposed, and he's going to. Oh, there's the Widow Mine. He needs to burrow it. Its stalkers are focusing it down. It's getting low. Okay, steps back. He can attack this gateway. But there is enough energy for a Photon Overcharge, so I think as soon as the Observer is done, he Photon Overcharges, kills the Widow Mine, and then just shoves this attack back. But Xeno's building a bunker at the natural. He wants to really commit and do a lot of damage. Is he going to kill this gateway? Forces a cancel. Not bad. There's the Observer, and... Actually, is he going to... Wow, he snipes the Observer. Does not manage to save the Widowmine, but he's going to fly back over. He does have this bunker here. Now, it's so important. He actually defended without the Photon Overcharge, and this is a big deal because now he can use it on the natural expansion, and I don't think Xenocider can kill this base anymore. I simply do not believe it is possible, so force the Photon Overcharge. He's going to have to empty that bunker and most likely just salvage it. I'd like to see him do that sooner than later. This Twilight Council, by the way, is still not used at all. He has not researched any upgrades. Unloads and no salvage. Reno. Okay, I guess no salvage. He has loaded up the medevac though with 2 Hellions and 2 Marines. There's a probe out here. Proxy pylon plays. Stardust looking to get aggressive. Siege tank on the way to defend for Xenocider. He is just pumping out all the defensive units. He recognizes the threat of this build order. 4-gate Blink. Now Blink has only just started. Stardust does not have any time. Stardust cannot really attack Xenocider, and it is only because of this that I feel Xenocider could have just gone up to straight 3 barracks play. I think he could have just gone to 3 barracks. I don't necessarily agree that he needed to build the siege tank, but you know, it's better safe than sorry sometimes because even a frontal stalker assault could be deadly if Xenocider had lost his medevac, for instance. So let's see how Stardust is able to do this, because I think Stardust is a fantastic player and he's really good at making aggressive plays. This map is great for aggressive plays. Oh, Xenocider will find this pylon though. Double stalker. Oh, never mind. Quadra stalker warp in here outside the natural, and there is an observer to spot everything that's going on here. The one thing about this build though is Xenocider is super vulnerable to an attack. Because he's just stretched so thin. He has so little bio units that, sure, siege tanks are good, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Stardust just blink on top of the tank and try to kill him. And there, oh, takes one little love tap, builds a bunker inside of his main base as well. He has to be so careful. Even now, we're seeing the Dark Shrine on the way, a Forge. He has an Immortal coming out, additional gateways. He's up to, I think, 6 now, which is the standard for 2 bases. Medevac tries to come in and make some magic happen. Nothing doing. So let's look now and see, these 4 stalkers are coming home. So Xenocider has, for the most part, defended this attack. Here's the problem. He's just started his Stimpak upgrade, so he can't really push out for he can't push out for the next 3 minutes. He kind of has to sit in his base, turtle a little bit, and, you know, it's an interesting comparison because there's actually no Twilight, there's no Templar Archives, there's no Robotics Bay, so we can't see a Colossus. The most we can see is Charge Lot Archon, since there is a Twilight Council, and obviously the ability to get Dark Templar soon. But missile turrets on the way for Xenocider, and he has everything he needs. There's a Warp Prism coming out, though, and this could be bad. These Stalkers are waiting to catch a drop on the left side of the map, but we do have this drop trying to do something. I think he unloaded 1 Hellion to scout, but he saw the Warp Prism. I'm pretty sure he saw that Warp Prism. And there's a missile turret immediately placed in the main base. Dr. Xenocider, you are quite an astute gentleman when it comes to being aware of the potential Cheddarino. Now, what does he have back home? Still no Robotics Bay, no Templar Archives. He needs some Area of Effect spells because Stim is halfway done. Now this DT drop, wow, actually, is he going to run them in the... what are you... Oh. He didn't load any in yet. He did kill the Observer. Does he have a scan? Yes. He has a scan and he has a tank. And where there's a tank, there's a way. Here we go. Loads up the 2 DTs. Can he make it happen? Coming into the main base of Xenocider now, Stardust, and there's the turret. The DTs will not do anything. Maybe, oh, okay. Just because I said that, he was like, all right, get that SCV, take him out. And he forces a cancellation on one of the barracks. One of the other barracks is still not being built, and, oh, is he gonna go for the tank? Zeno doesn't have a scan. The feels, man, the feels. Now he's actually gonna feel a little bit of pain. That is unfortunate. But this DT can't really go anywhere else. Or can it? Never mind, I stand corrected. I'm going to stop talking about what these Dark Templar can and can't do. Charge is on the way. +1 armor is about to finish up. Stim and +1 attack are done. And Xenocider's got to save this director. Oh, the siege tank! The siege tank gets the last hit that DT doesn't have. Oh, the feels. That is bad. Wow. That actually really sucks. Still has this Warp Prism with another Dark Templar in it, though, because he did save one from earlier. These Stalkers continue to peruse the map looking for drops. And Xeno, with this drop still hovering outside the main base. Stardust has some really great map vision, actually, is the way I should say it. Look at his vision. He can see pretty much anywhere Xeno could leave his base. And now he's coming in. He knows this is the soft spot. He's like, where these add-ons are, this is a really great point to attack. And there's a Dark Templar. And he's just going to try to cancel the combat shield upgrade. This is so smart. And he's warping in like 8 Zealots. Oh, no. This is every Terran player's nightmare. He does have some Widow Mines. These will be very useful in mounting a defense. But they kill some of his own Marines, and Xenocider pulls everything back. He's like, I am not going to allow this to be the end of me. But this Dark Templar, man, he's still going ham in the mineral line. These Zealots as well. Stardust knows what's up. And there's still this Warp Prism with a Zealot in it. As soon as Xenocider leaves his base, Stardust is going to come right back. Xenocider only has 4 barracks. He's got combat shield canceled, so his Marines are missing a lot of health. Those DTs one-shot the Marines, and now Stardust has a massive force. +2 armor is on the way. He has a gargantuan number of charge lots, 3 immortals to bust down any bunkers, and this is going to be rough. The Marine count is relatively close to the Marauder count, but if he gets caught, the Observer knows he's coming in. Stims, he needs to step back. Stardust gets a good force. Actually, not the greatest force field. He's running back, though. And Xenocider is holding for now. That +2 armor is not done yet. Without the +2 armor, how does he hope to break him? Most of the Zealots are already gone. Xenocider just needs to chase now. The Widowmines get some good shots off another Warband of Zealots, though. +2 armor so close, 10 seconds away. Xenocider, your window to hold this attack is going to get a lot shorter very soon, and he still has this drop outside, but he can't do anything with it because of a photon cannon. Another Warp Prism is in production. Did he lose the first one? Am I blind? I guess we already deduced that one. But, you know, Stardust still doesn't have a 3rd base, but neither does Xenocider. And I think as a Terran player, it's okay to be on the same base as your opponent, but I'm actually surprised neither of these guys have tried to get a 3rd base yet. Xenocider now going to pick off one of the pylons out on the map. He scans ahead. He wants to see what's at the tower, and he's advancing forward. Now, there are no storms available. He has Templar. They're starting to bank up enough energy, and in a couple of seconds, in about 60 seconds, he will have enough to get about... He'll have about 6 storms available to him. Maybe about 4. 4 and then 2 coming up shortly afterwards. But Xenocider doesn't know. He doesn't know that storm isn't done. Does he? Did he not see that? I don't think Xenocider saw that storm wasn't done yet. So because of that, he's not going to attack. He's going to play more safe. He's scared. And I know nothing wrong with being scared, but Xenocider misses out on an opportunity, I think, to at least try to suicide himself and lose the game in about 5 seconds flat like I would. Did he ever start Okay, Combat Shield's about to finish. He has a Ghost Academy. And he's still producing Widow Mines, which I love to see. Widow Mines are so good versus Zealot-based army compositions. They're actually ridiculous. I found out that since the damage buff to shields for Widow Mines was put through, Widow Mines will actually... one Widow Mine, if it shoots in the center of a clump of Templar, will actually instantly kill all of the Templar in the clump. And look, that's such a great drop. Pick off there. To kill that Warp Prism was so nice. And he, yeah, this is some Zealots. Oh well, not a big deal. He's lost, actually, yeah, let's look back at that again. He's lost 30 Zealots this game. What a weird number to look at. But I guess they are the cannon fodder unit. How many Marines have died? 20? Yeah, it's definitely a good game so far for Stardust. Resources lost overall is quite close. These observers are so well positioned for him, though. Like, he's had a full read on the position of this army throughout the whole game. And, oh boy, there's the first storm, the preemptive storm. He's starting to split. Needs to kite back. The siege tank is sieging. And there's the EMPs on the Templar. He gets the Templar. There's no storms left. Xenocider charging forward. Guardian Shield is popped, but what does Stardust have to deal with this? Absolutely nothing. He's still... Are there any Templar at the natural he can bring over? No. He's just going to plow right through this army. A couple more Templar coming. He does have one storm now. There's going to hit the bio. That's all he needs. Just one storm to push this attack back. And Xenocider kills the 3rd base, but he still doesn't have his own 3rd command center. What's he going to do? Lift off his main for the 3rd? A bit ridiculous. This bio reinforcement's getting caught by this this Zealot run by, as it were. And, whoop, double kill on that Widow Mine. It still has a few out in the center of the map. And, oh, does this Observer see them? Yes. Yes, it does. So he should be able to kill these mines without too much trouble. Shame. Shame. Zealots are actually going to go back and possibly work on these rocks. No, he's going to attack the natural. The Widow Mine for defense is good, but it will only kill one of the Zealots. Actually, I guess, Zealot? No, it can only kill one. 2 Widow Mines run up into an untimely demise, and there are no storms available with this army right now. Okay, oh man, he missed the 2 full Templar. Yikes. There's no ghosts. He's got no ghosts. Oh, he loads up 4 medevacs. Oh no, and Stardust, I think he realizes something fishy's going on. He's sending all the stalkers back. Can he unload the medevacs in time? That is the real question, and it looks like the answer is no. No, Stardust is ready to blink on top of this. He's actually, I mean, if he goes in from the top, maybe. Zealot run by getting cleaned up. But if he could go in from the top, maybe he can make it work. Here he goes. He's dropping the medevacs. The stalkers are coming in. Snipe one of them. And that Damned Bio is in the main. He's going to town. The Observer still watching the main army, though. He can see him moving out. The Zealots attacking the natural expansion. Marauder with the Widowmine is here to help defend. And these going. He's picking him off. DT's warped in defensively. Scans to pick him off. Runs the Ghosts forward. Insta feedback. Destroys them at the same time. Picking off the Stalkers in the main base. And Immortal comes back with a Templar. But it's not going to be enough. He loads up the Medivacs. He's going to kill the pylon powering the robotics facility in retreat. This Bioforce is being shoved back. Archon might get crunched up. And it does. Still producing tons of Marines and Marauders at the same time. He does unpower that robotics facility, and Immortal is delayed. There is a storm available on this Templar. Misses another storm. As Xenocider needs to be careful. His army is so weak, this Observer knows that. Oh, there's the storms he needs. And I feel like Xenocider has to feel good. For one reason alone, he can continue to produce just Medivacs. Colossi have not even been, forget afterthought. Haven't even been like a pre-thought so far in this game. But for the love of God, man, these Observers make the game so easy for your opponent. Another Templar going to come forward to try to get him. Oh, feedback. Oh, target's down with a couple of Bioforces. There's still another storm, and he walks right into it, Xenocider. I think Stardust wants to go for the throat here. He does have 2 storms left. And this could end him. These Bioforces really need to heal up. There's not much left for Xenocider. The only thing that he has that he can hold on to, he can clutch in his arms, his loving arms, is the fact that he had... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, he's coming in. There's 2 storms. Stardust is probably... No. Okay, storms and Medivacs. That was close. And Xenocider, though... The one thing he has that he can clutch close to his chest, as I was saying, is he can just move this command center over. But here comes the dropper to the main base. He's moving in. There's still another storm available. He needs to keep his units from clumping up with this drop, but they're still kind of clumped, and there's the storm chewing through. A decent chunk of this photon overcharge is activated. Talk about your late game photon overcharges, and he is just going to be repelled. Xenocider cannot make anything happen here. Has to retreat. He does have a good Bioforce ready, though, and oh, God, there's 6 Immortals. These Marauders are almost... They're like junkyard, man. They're completely useless outside of having... I guess the only thing that makes Marauders kind of weird against Immortals is that the Marines generally get in front of the Marauders, so it's a bit harder to actually capitalize on that extra damage, but the Photon Overcharge is still hot and cooking. He does have a couple Widow Mines. None of these units have really long range except the Immortals. The Templar going... He sees them. He sees them. Oh, no. Is he going to walk right into this? Storms on the Widow Mine. There's an Observer here. Oh, another storm picks off the Widowmine and a Marine, but there's still a couple storms, and these Immortals will kill his command center faster than maybe anything you've ever seen in your entire life. I mean, in your real life, you've probably never seen a real command center, so I guess that's not really the best analogy, but it's going to kill this Widowmine now. Archon tanks the shot, and this base, it's not really a third. It's his only command center that he can really move out right now. All these SCVs will die. And Xenocider is kind of boned. I don't think he can do much anymore. This Gateway army has +2 attack and +3 armor. Xenocider only has +2 attack and +1 armor. And he's got no SCVs. He has 11 SCVs on the map. And you know what? Xenocider is not a bad player, but this game, this is not his to win. As he has been thwarted, he's going to try to go back to the main base once again. There is an Immortal and a High Templar. And an Archon and a few Zealots, I guess, as well. So there's not much he can do. I think Stardust has this game in the bag. Xenocider might just be trying to think about the next game. I'm sure he'd love to try to find a way to pull this back somehow, but walking into that storm, that is quite painful. Is going to be his demise. GG, Stardust takes game number 1 in this best of 3. Not bad game at all. Both of those players really duking it out, man. That's what happens when Xenocider and Stardust meet up in a back alleyway